After tonight, they host Dominican Republic here on Sunday night before road trips to Mexico and Dominican Republic to finish in July. Still time for them to bounce back. A win would change everything for a team that has only just last summer played at its first ever major continental or world level event. Two sets of players introduced, and we will pause now for the two national anthems. Nicaragua 74th in the FIBA World Rankings, hosting Mexico 44 places above them here in the capital, Managua. A Group A fixture on game day 3 of the 2027 FIBA World Cup Americas qualifiers. Mexico looking to respond to the disappointment of having failed to qualify for last summer's America Cup here in this city. This perhaps a bit of a revenge game for them, given they missed out on that tournament because Nicaragua automatically took one of the tickets from their group as the tournament hosts of that continental showpiece event last summer. Mexico not making the event for just the second time since the turn of the millennium, despite the fact they finished level on points with the winners of their qualifying group. They missed out by finishing at the bottom of a three-way tie. Nicaragua 4th in that group, but they were able to play at the main event as the hosts instead of Mexico, who finished 3rd. So despite not playing at the America Cup, there was plenty of promise in the qualifiers for Mexico, and they will hope to carry that into this campaign, having gone 1-1 so far. So much experience on this roster. They are missing Karim Lopez, their rising star teenage talent, but a ton of experience. And then the youthful exuberance and quality of Gael Bonilla who keeps getting better and better and hopes to celebrate a win today as he celebrates his 23rd birthday. In the first window, he averaged 18 points, 10 rebounds, 3.5 offensive rebounds, 1.5 steals and 1.5 blocks. Bonilla not in the starting five. Fabian Jaimes, Paul Stoll, Paco Cruz, Gabriel Giron and Joseph Avila. Bonilla will come off the bench. JJ Avila, 14 points, 6 rebounds and 1.5 steals on average in the first window. Paco Cruz, a scintillating 24 points and 5.5 assists a game over the first 2 games. Gabriel Giron, another key player. He turns 38 tomorrow. So not just plenty of experience, but plenty of birthdays around the Mexican roster. For Nicaragua, last summer's America Cup here was the team's first ever major international tournament. They continue to grow on this stage. Eden Ewing, Theodore Parham, Andy Perez, Jared Ruiz and Jensen Campbell, their starters tonight. Ewing in the first window averaged 10.5 points, 6 rebounds. Team joint second most, 4.5 assists, 1 steal and 1 block a game. Jared Ruiz, a competition high 25.5 points and a competition 6th most, 6.5 assists. He's the player to watch out for David Rosario's team. They're missing Yosmel Martinez and Norchat Omaya, so more responsibility still on Ruiz and Ewing, as well perhaps as Francisco Gar, who played a key role in America Cup qualifying, but didn't play too much in the first window of this campaign. Ahead of tip-off here, we will have a minute's silence. These fans are ready for here in Managua. The basketball community mourning the sudden passing of Fabian Borro, president of FIBA Americas, at the age of 64. A devoted and influential leader. He made a lasting contribution to the growth of our sport across this region. Our thoughts with the family, friends and colleagues of Fabian Borro. These players here tonight and across this window will hope to celebrate and illustrate his legacy with some fantastic international basketball on the continents of the Americas. Nicaragua 0-2 at the bottom of Group A, but their forecast changes significantly with an upset win here tonight. Mexico at 1-1 can advance in this window if they win both of their games, and Nicaragua lose both. They, of course, aim to complete the first part of that equation here in Managua tonight. Paco Cruz, the inbound. Paul Stoll, the evergreen 40-year-old. Avila missing the opportunity for the offensive rebound. Paul Stoll still playing 29 minutes a game in this campaign at the age of 40. Jared Ruiz, the danger man for Nicaragua. Shot clock down to 5. Early shot over everything. Paco Cruz, 36 years young. And the 34-year-old JJ Avila knocks down the outside shot. All of that experience combining on the Mexican roster. Ewing played 33 minutes a game in the first window. The number 3, he was 3rd on the team in efficiency. Ball out of bounds with 4 seconds on the shot clock. And an offensive foul, the push-off for Theodore Parham Jr. He's one of 4 players on the Nicaraguan roster added for this second window, making his first appearance of the campaign. Parham Jr., along with Andy Perez, Wilson Batista and Kevin Vivas, all didn't play at all in window 1. Nicaragua, until last summer's America Cup, their biggest achievement had been a silver medal at the Central American Games in 2017. And they get a score here as they look to get their first win of this World Cup qualifying campaign. It is a program that is getting better and better, albeit they are still underdogs. Offensive rebound, Mexico stole the open 3, knocked down by the 40-year-old. 2 triples already for Mexico in the first 2 and a bit minutes. The ball was kicked, so the shot clock will reset to 14. Silver in 2017 at the Central American Games, the only time that Nicaragua had ever even placed on a podium at the more regional tournaments, the Centro Basket. In the Central American Games, they only played America Cup qualifying for the first ever time in 2023. That is how far this nation has come. Straight away to the post-up, Huron. Back out, Stoll. Huron wants it again in that matchup against Parham Jr. Outside shot instead. Rebound secured by Jensen Campbell. Has found its way to Andy Perez. The outside the 3 short. Nicaragua struggling to shoot so far, but at first you don't succeed. Keep on grabbing rebounds. Within Ewing. Gets them within 2. 10 points, 5 assists in his last game. He averaged 10.5 points, 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists in the first window. Dancing with the defense. Parham Jr. Outside shot, back iron though, batted back out. If you want it to go to anybody, it's Jared Ruiz. He shot 56% on the outside the first 2 games. And he knocks down another. That 36-point game against the USA, he was 6 of 10 on the outside. Mexico come back though. After Nicaragua had taken the lead from 4 down. Gabriel Huron, see his tournament averages so far there. 13.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.5 steals. He produced an all-round stat line in window 1. There's a player actually who played very recently in Nicaragua with Real Esteli, the club from which many of the Nicaraguan players come. And indeed, the head coach, David Rosario, also the head coach of Real Esteli. So Gabriel Huon knows the opponents and their head coach very well indeed tonight. There's some figuring out to be done here, 4 and a bit minutes in. Issue for Jared Ruiz. In comes Francisco Gar. Parham. Trapped, found a way out, foul. Theodore Parham Jr. seeing plenty of the ball. One of those players who didn't play in the first window. He's just turned 26 years of age. He's making his first appearance for the national team. Three-point shot from the wing. Sweet string music to Mexican ears. Perfectly placed triple from JJ Avila. Mexico 4 of 7 from 3 already in this game. All of their points coming from the outside. 4 threes the first 5 minutes. Long range 2, and the Perez gets it off the clean hop of the high rim. Avila knocking down the last 3. 3 of 3 so far, but then misses 1. So 3 of 4. That's something on 7 of 8 the first 2 games. He's been red hot on the outside. Gar splits a couple of defenders with that long stride and puts it in. Francisco Gar getting Nicaragua back within 1. All of Mexico's scoring from the outside. Nicaragua 6 points of their 11 on the interior. And fired against the bottom of the rim. Avila making conviction as they attack the paint. Mexico. Nicaragua anything but. Ewing gets them ahead. And the foul line this time, that will pop out as well. So Mexico 4 of 8 on the outside, 0 of 4, make it 0 of 5 now on the inside. Stop. Fired it, looks like it was onto the shins of Gael Bonilla, the birthday boy, and the rising star talent able to tame it. Mexico ahead again, a series of lead changes early on in this game, and a trip to the line here for Jared Ruiz. Ruiz had that issue earlier on in the period, comes back in. Straight away, gets back at it with the trip to the line. And a big America Cup. And Nicaragua's big debut on the big stage. 15.3 points per game and a competition third best 7.3 assists a game. Huron creates a bit of room with the bomb, couldn't get the three. Plenty of promise here for Nicaragua. Step back, corner three onto the corner of the backboard. Head down, apologetic hand up. A long way off from Francisco Gar, the 26-year-old who was a key scorer through America Cup qualifying, 10.3 points a game, but only played 14.5 minutes a game in the first window of this campaign. Only took 2 shots and missed them both. Bonilla back, drawing attention, creating room, and Paco Cruz will do the rest. So Mexico now with 5 made threes and only 1 made 2. To run and gun off the rebound. 5 of 10 on the outside, 3 of them for Avila. 1 for Cruz and 1 for Storm. Had 6 lead changes in this game already. Mexico looking to create the first bit of breathing room. Had a early 5-point lead that was quickly overturned. Now they're up by 4. Those handles being shown, and focus and finish from Eden Owen. Nicaragua halving the deficit. Bonilla again drawing the attention of 2, kicking to Cruz, who again knocks down the shot. And 2 stars for Mexico aligning. The young Bonilla and the veteran Cruz. Mexico by 5, tying the largest leads. Owen comes back and retaliates again. This time it's Bonilla in that spot, taking the shot. Can't do what Cruz had done a couple of times previously. But Mexico's outside shooting, at least prior to that, had been right on the money. They're 6 of 12 from downtown. Moises Amdiassi coming in for the first time. He was the game winner on game day 2 with a pair of free throws right at the end. Wasn't even on the court, but he replaced the injured player who'd been fouled. Bonilla came in, knocked them both down for the win. Whipped out to the far side. Plenty of time from the shot clock to readjust the offense. Ruiz. Ripped in and put in by Jensen Campbell. Determined to get to that pass, pulled it away from opponents. Nicaragua determined to pull back from 5 down again. Cruz looking to dance in isolation. 3 to shoot. Paco Cruz onto the left, kicks it out to the paint. looking to return the favour to Bonilla, but he can't hit the shot again. So Kyle Bonilla falling to 0-2 on the outside. 3 seconds left in the period. Mexico with a chance. Cruz has hit a couple, surely not going to hit that one. That will do it for an entertaining and touch-tight opening 10 minutes here in Managua. The end of one, Nicaragua 21, Mexico 22. Nicaragua 80% on the inside, 11% on the outside. Mexico 46% on the outside, making 6 threes. Two teams close in terms of their tally, scoring their points in very different ways. We're led by the 5 points of Jared Ruiz, who've had 4 from Andy Perez, beg your pardon, 8 from Eden Uwin. It's 4 of 6 from the field, Ewing. 5 for Ruiz, 1 of 2 shooting, 4 for Perez on 2 of 3 shooting. Mexico with 9 points from the game's top scorer, Joseph JJ Avila. 3 of 4 from 3. Catch that QR code. Make sure you download the Courtside 1891 app for all of the stream schedules and scores. If you can't catch the QR code, find a link on the relevant app store or indeed the website. Of course, if you don't watch through the Courtside 1891 app, you can watch all of the streams and highlights from FIBA competitions through the website by logging in as well. No foul here, no call here. There certainly is one there, though. 2 Nicaraguan players putting their bodies in harm's way. Kevin Vivas making his first appearance of this campaign. So Nicaragua a chance to orchestrate another lead change. Into the lane, the floater off the mark for Vivas. Bonilla out to Karim Rodriguez. Rebound Vivas. Heavily involved in his first couple of minutes on court. First step to the baseline, defense not budging. Mexico forcing the turnover, knocking it away from Hodgson. Ball movement in transition into the star player Bonilla. He puts it in from close proximity, having struggled from range at the end of the first quarter. Ruiz driving at Bonilla. Ruiz up to 7 points. Couple of feet back, out it goes But an offensive rebound and back up and in, courtesy of Israel Gutierrez. Couldn't get another modern day three. How about one the old-fashioned way instead? A team that's done the vast majority of its scoring on the outside. Completing the three-point play, Gutierrez. Mexico up by 4. They earlier had a couple of 5-point leads. They've led for the vast majority, but never by much. Static three-point shot, back iron for Campbell. And now a chance for the out-and-out largest lead off the back of that miss. That's what it can cost you. Karim Rodriguez down the floor fast. A rare transition opportunity in this game. And the largest lead of it at 6. Nicaragua 23, Mexico 29. A timeout required by the home team 2 minutes into the second period to talk it through. Worked it onto the interior to Bonilla. That previous score. He's determined to answer. Star players for the two nations trading blows. Mexico threatening to create a gap for the first time. Mexico have been hitting their outside shots since the start of the game. Now they're starting to score on the interior as well, and that is spelling trouble for Nicaragua, especially giving up opportunities in transition like that now. Mexico with 6 fast break points now. Nicaragua's 2. Still a tight game, only a 2-possession game, but not what they wanted off the back of the timeout. Rivas will check out. Cruz floats it up and Bonilla floats to finish. A big 1-2 punch combination for Mexico again. They've got a great understanding, a real synergy. Veteran star and youthful star. It's going down for Nicaragua right now, but opportunities keep on coming off the offensive rebounds. 5 to shoot, double in the corner, free man somewhere. Can't find the free man. Instead, Hodgson throws up a miss by a long way, and Mexico sensing their moment like a shark smelling blood, right the way down the floor again for the and one opportunity, and a double-digit lead just like that. Nicaragua, having been so close for so long, looked very much on par with Mexico. Now a significant run. Need some composure. Can Parham, his debut, provide it? No. Andriassi exchanging passes. Huon, Gutierrez running interference. Work it to the opposite wing, carrying Rodriguez. Shot clock down to 3. The defense doing a good job that time of sticking with Mexico. Andriassi able to get the razzle-dazzle pass to connect. Shot clock reset to 14. Mexico by 11. They've really gone on a tear in this period. It was 23-24. 1.5 minutes into this quarter, in fact. So in the last 2.5 minutes, a 10-0 run for Mexico. Sorting out to be done before they get this ball inbounded here. Kick ball resetting the shot clock to 14. 1-point shot rims out. Nicaragua a chance to make it a single-digit margin. It's a huge occasion for Nicaragua to really get their campaign rolling here after the 2 defeats to the USA in the first window. So much promise for them in the first quarter. That has very quickly evaporated here. Andriassi. Huon. Deep 3. Mexico missing a few shots. Nicaragua want to miss another chance to make it a single-digit game. Struggling to score over the last 5 minutes. 3-point shot doesn't go down for Parham Jr. For Ruiz either. Nobody can score for Nicaragua right now. Struggled to score from the outside all game. 1 of 14 as a team. And taking it strong to the goal. Mexico will only improve their advantage. Huon making the margin 14, the largest of the game. A 13-0 run in the last 3.5 minutes. 8:31 was Nicaragua's last score. A 4-minute drought for them. 1 second on the shot clock. Ruiz. And he realised right at the end and still got the shot away accurately. Jared Ruiz putting up a prayer at the end of the shot clock. And and getting it answered. 10 for him. 11 the gap. Bonilla in the corner hasn't been hitting his threes, but yet he gets fouled on one. It's the kind of foul you can ill afford in Nicaragua's position. Bonilla having been 0 of 2 on the outside. He only took 1 3-point attempt across the first 2 games and missed it. He did all of his scoring, 18 points per game on the interior. He's taken 2 early threes in this game and missed them both. He takes another one, gets fouled. There's the basket for Ruiz. So he's up to double figures. Some issues here. We're going to have to take a look at things again. Ruiz through the motions here. Does he put a left sneaker on the perimeter line? Jumps forward to 2-point territory, but I think he starts his lead from the exterior.
1, 2, 3. 3 puntos. Lo bestia.
And is confirmed. 3 points on that basket from Ruiz. Much needed 3 for Nicaragua. They are in a position where they need every single point they can possibly get. They get their second made 3 of the game. Being just 1 of 14 before that. Jared Ruiz has got both of those made 3s. He's 2 of 3. The rest of the team are 0 of 12. The deficit with 4 minutes of the first half to play. Quick to attack the passing lane. Andriassi forcing the turnover. They're looking to orchestrate the attack, just about to squeeze the pass through. Got it back on the perimeter. Andriassi, Yuan onto the left, misses. Look for help from the official on the baseline, didn't get it. Nicaragua to do with a big 3.5 minutes to finish this half. This would be a big shot if it goes, and it does. There would have been a sneaker on the line there as well. They counted as the 3. 10 the gap. All made 3s in their last couple of attempts than they had previously in the game. Their last 2 having hit just 1 of 14 before that. Static corner 3 on the inbound. They get it back again. And free play off the offensive rebound. Too many open looks for Mexico, who knocked down another. Go back up by 13 with 3 to play in the first half. We want to talk that through. Giving up offensive rebounds, letting players get free off inbounds. There's that leaning, jumping forward one from Ruiz. seen at the start of that timeout different impact the Mexican bench has had. The starters are pretty much scoring the same level, but Mexico's bench is dominating, showing their extra strength in depth. It's not necessarily out the three-point shooting now, despite the fact that Mexico have recently hit one. They're only shooting at 35% on the outside now. Nicaragua have started to make a few. Forced in by Ewing. In the gap, Nicaragua determined to make it close. Gutierrez, a chance to make it a single-digit margin again. Ruiz fouled. Only Mexico's second of the second. Nicaragua, far more difficult position. Mexico in the bonus already. Ruiz. Let's go guard. Huron. Stoll flips it back. Huron, the two veterans combining. Stoll again. The 38-year-old tomorrow, Gabriel Huron, and the 40-year-old Paul Stoll. And the interior passing. Paco Cruz somehow threading the eye of the needle. Showtime basketball for Mexico to go back up by 13. Ruiz off on the outside. Long pass down the floor, let it slip through his fingers, saved by guard. Ruiz passes from the press, now a chance 2-on-1. Can they make the most of it? How they did! In high-flying highlight reel fashion. What have they called the offensive foul? They have, rather than the defensive foul. And Parham Jr. there. Number 4. Call for the charge. Nothing wrong whatsoever with the finish. There is something wrong with the complaints, though. A technical. David Rosario. Emotions understandably frayed. Nicaragua in a tough position here. Lost their first 2 games in this campaign. Now down double figures here. Mexico have the ball back with the 14-point lead. Cruz mid-range, defense not budging. Filter in the middle, good. For Jaimes. Talked about Nicaragua having a few minutes to try and close the gap. Mexico have only extended it. 25-10 in this quarter. 1-point differential in the first, and throw it away. It's going from bad to worse for them. Been protecting the ball fairly well until the last few minutes. Now committed 7 turnovers in the game. Only forced 3. It's a big part of the equation. Those extra 4 possessions for Mexico. Lovely move. Fabulous floater of a finish from Paco Cruz, who seems to only be getting better. advantage. Final seconds of the second. Nicaragua with a silver lining. A very dark and stormy quarter. Mexico using those fouls to give. They still have another one. 4.1. Trying to use that foul tactically. Does get fouled. Final 2 seconds. .8 on the clock. They can't foul, nor can Nicaragua shoot. The first half of 2 very different quarters. 21-22 in the first, 10-27 in the second. Better percentage on the interior, as well as knocking down more than twice as many threes. 35%, 15 assists. Mexico at halftime. That's a huge number. Some of those assists coming from Paco Cruz, who's also got 10 points. He has 11. His team, with Paco Cruz, is pulling the strings and pulling the trigger. Mexico by 18 points on the road here in Managua. They look to go 2-1, solidify one of the top 3 places in Group A of these qualifiers. We're not happy. A couple of the calls here in a very frustrating second period. There, looking every bit as good as Mexico in the first, 21-22, but lost the second, 10-27. Six lead changes in 10 minutes. Second period, a 13-0 run. Mexico, first couple of minutes of it, that is where they pulled away. Wonder if there's any chance in front of their home fans here in Managua. Managua can possibly pull them back in. Some of the best plays of the second period, and the majority of them will belong to Mexico, who pulled Nicaragua apart. 15 assists. Mexico through the course of the opening 20 minutes. 15 assists on 17 made field goals. They're playing some lovely team basketball up top. Trying everything, even if it's not coming off. Points for Guy Albanilla to lead the way in just 10 minutes of action. 10 points for Paco Cruz. 9 for Joseph Avila, all coming early on, made threes. Shooting 50% from 3 early on. With a string of misses, but started scoring instead on the interior. So half-time. Mexico lead by 18, 31-49 here in Nicaragua.
Let's get this body size. Oh my goodness sakes, that's a throwdown. Goes in, better than dunk. Good night. Too big, too strong, and just too good. Bogdanovich, who goes in and scores. Ah! This is what it's all about. It's all one big basketball family, folks. Waiting time. Both teams over the limit. You have got to be kidding me! They're going to get trapped there. Dribbled right into it. Can he find a way out? He does. Good ball movement for Jamaica. And a slam for Facey. What an addition he is to feed.
Jaria. Oh, having none of it, but walk in the center after the fancy handles from Jaria. And Argentina just goes straight to the goal. Throws it down after the big defensive stop.
It's a steal. Montero lobs it up, and Soriano brings down the house. Timeout, Mexico. On the far side, contested, turned it over. They push it up. Knight giving it up to Smart.
Just going to try and challenge the shot. He's already done it earlier. He took the ball far too easily. What a pass out that is. And the freedom to fly. Gonzalo Corbalan.
Nice pass inside, but Jones is rejected by Charles Badioko, who flexes after that one. And this time, he is rewarded by his teammates. He gets the block on the defensive end, sprints the floor, and gets the assist from Bell Haynes.
Shot clock down to 7. Dish running into trouble. Will take a tough 3. Doesn't get it. The rebound. Coburn tips it home. Jamaica fired up. Coburn with an offensive rebound and a putback, of course. Oh, Borges, what a time. Obrigado por noche. What a play by Flamenco's Alexei Borges. Inside with a two-handed hammer. Lataboutier. Isaiah Pinheiro is the big two-hander. Get out of the way. Things are about to get rough.
Chance for Uruguay to win it. Who's going to throw it up the pass? to Managua, game day 3. These World Cup qualifiers in the Americas Group A action. Nicaragua 0-2 so far, now trailing by 18 at half-time to a Mexico side looking to move to a positive 2-1. Take a look at the top scorers. First for Mexico, Gael Bonilla, 11 points. Just 10 minutes and 6 seconds on court. All 4 of his twos, including one on the alley-oop. 3 or 4 at the foul line as well, but 0 of 2 on the outside. His partner in crime has 10 points. 2 double-digit scorers already for Mexico. He's also with 7 assists, 1 turnover. In fact, Mexico as a team did 15 assists with only 3 turnovers, a 5-to-1 ratio. Top scorers for Nicaragua. 2 players on 10 points. Edin Ewing, Jared Ruiz. We can only focus on one of them. So we'll look at Ruiz's 10 that have come in a little bit shorter time, 16.5 minutes. He's got 2 of Nicaragua's 3 made threes in this game. 2 of 4 on the outside, the rest of the team just 1 of 13. Shooting a big part by Mexico. Able to get their early leads. Not so much part of how they pulled away. It's more improving their defense and running the back of it, creating higher percentage shots as we see their leaders in various categories. 13 points unanswered run in that second period, a period they dominated 27-10. Reduce almost the entirety of this 18-point lead. That first half with a 7-0 advantage in points off turnovers. It's a 5 edge in fast break points. So made more of their second chance opportunities. Score a couple of extra points there. This is the largest lead of the game. It kept growing. The longer that second period went on. Assists, 7 of which have come from Paco Cruz, and then they've got as many as 4 more players, multiple assists. Juan, Stoll, Bonilla, Rodriguez, 2 each. Nicaragua get back to doing what they were doing first period. Two scorers have gone about their business fairly accurately, but they need some help. It's been a nightmare performance. His debut, Theodore Parham, number 4, who's 0 of 7 from the field, including 0 of 6 on the outside. game leaders. Just the 10 points for Elwin, but 10.4 rebounds as well. Is that help going to come from? Ready for the second half here in Managua, the Nicaraguan capital. This nation and these fans off the back of historic America here last summer. Their country played at a major continental all-world level event for the first time in their history, hoping to build off that World Cup qualifying win, but two so far. Down by a landslide margin. Starts the second half to make matters worse for Nicaragua. Mexico will start with the ball up by 18. He to inbound. It's a bit of a stop-start. First half. For a number of reasons, we get a stoppage very early in the third quarter as well. Four seconds in. There's again, he wants to stop. Cruz rather, they swing it around to the corner, up fake, open three, just like that, short, let off for Nicaragua. Now Parham. 5 on the floor for the home team to go on a run. Stock. Final 4 ticks of the shot clock here. Who's at the 3? It's just stuck there for Mexico. Nice footwork and finish. Will finally score for Parham, who'd been 0 of 7 from the field before that one. Maybe that will get him and his team going. 16 the margin, his first international score. Nightmare first half behind him. Paco Cruz for 3, back iron, chance for back-to-back scores now for Nicaragua. Ruiz taking it into traffic but not putting it in the bucket. He wanted a foul on his way through. Three-point shot for Avila, who knocks down another. JJ Avila, who hit 3 early in the game, now 4 of 5. Just 4 of 5 in this game, but 11 of 13 in the tournament. That positive start for Nicaragua, getting a score and then getting a chance for back-to-back scores and not taking it, with Ruiz wanting the foul. Mexico just come back and knock down a 3, and now largest lead extends to 19. Ruiz, footwork into the corner, tough shot still, short. Such a high IQ player, ordinarily turnover. 5 assists in this qualifying campaign, also 3 turnovers. Double-digit scores from the first half of Nicaragua. Gar could do with maybe stepping up with a few more points. Ruiz following his path into the paint. 2 fouls on Mexico. Nicaragua could do with maybe getting the Mexicans in foul trouble. There's a third. They've only taken 2 free throw attempts in the game, Nicaragua. Ruiz knocking down both of them in the first half, so they're at the line for just the second time. This time is Andy Paris. Mexico only have 1 foul. They start sending Nicaragua to the line every foul the rest of this period. So splitting the pair. 18 the gap as it was at half time. Away from the basket, Huon Stoll's pass. Communication as James tried to find Cruz in the corner. Turnovers in the first half. Mexico already committed a couple in this third quarter. Very faint green shoots of optimism for Nicaragua. It's improving in a number of areas. In particular, having got a score, but he misses a game on that one. So Ham having missed his first 7 shots, then hit 1, then missed another. 1 of 9 from the field. It's a kick ball, 14 on the shot clock. In the high teens, then Nicaragua remain in the game. Mexico creates an even bigger gap. They commit as many turnovers in the first 3.5 minutes of the second half as the whole of the first half. Not a jar yet for a comeback. Maybe it's unlocked. And maybe now it is ajar as Ruiz knocks down the 3. Nicaragua back to within 15 points. Forcing Stoll right towards the baseline. Almost another turnover. Stoll gets it back in the corner. Floater tough off the window. Mid-range, and Nicaragua. Here they come. Ruiz. huge if it goes. For Parham, it doesn't. He's just 1 of 10 now. Made it just a 12-point game from 19 down. Nicaragua in a position where they have to make the most of this Mexican drought, which is closing in on 3 minutes. Continues despite the good look for Jaimez from close proximity. Parham gets it back. Ruiz, he'll put it in. 13 the gap, and Mexico are going to need a timeout. Jared Ruiz up to 15 points in 21 minutes. Top scorer in this game, and the gap closed from 19 to 13. Parham the assist. Ruiz waiting to see what the defense decided upon. Backboard to add to his tally. So look at the top 3 scorers for Omar Quintero's team, but issues for them on the offensive end now, as many turnovers, in fact more turnovers, I beg your pardon, in this third quarter than the whole of the first half. 3 turnovers the first 20 minutes. Now 4 turnovers in around 4.5 minutes since the main intermission. Nicaragua taking advantage of them to chip away at what had been a sizable deficit. Stop. Up and in from Jaimez. Still a bit of work. He's able to do it well. Ruiz, he's been struggling to take off, but Parham can fly now. Just a second field goal. Shot attempts, but you see that 6-0 points off turnovers in this period I was just talking about. How about the pirouette to pick up the points? Gabriel Hiron. Dance moves and the geometry. 6 to 10 points. Mexico back up by 15. Turnover Nicaragua. Stoll, Cruz. Cold and clinical on the perimeter, Paco Cruz. Just like that, it's 18 again, as it was at the half. All of that comeback positivity evaporates. Gets it back. Ruiz for 3, short. Huron looking to push the pedal, forced to the baseline and into the miss. Speaking of pushing the pedal, going through the gears, going to the goal, but losing it. Their way back into a position from which they could apply pressure. 19 down to within 13, but now back up to 18. Open look for a sharp shooter at the peak of his powers. Paco Cruz with his 4th 3. 16 points. A scoring burst for him. He's now the top scorer in the game. So by Pumano. Showing a big individual improvement. 7 at the half. Mexico. So many exterior weapons. Gabriel Huron. Another 3 for them. Surpassed 20 for the first time. Just checking. There we go, Parham's stat line. I'm sure he's missing a field goal. We saw earlier on. Stats showing him with 5 points on 2 of 10 shooting now. Two on the deficit for Nicaragua. Mark on the turn for Elwin. Spin batted away. You're back out for Huron for 3. And if they can't score on the interior, they'll just go back to what they've been doing all game, knocking them down from the perimeter. That is now 11 made threes for Mexico at 41%. In fact, stats late to update make it 12 made threes at 43%. 24, largest lead. There's another Mexican burst after Nicaragua fairly recently had got it down to 13. The first player to pick up his 3rd foul. Danger of getting beyond. That was a possibility for Nicaragua. Free throws in this quarter than the first time. More made threes, forced more turnovers. Yeah, the deficit has only grown. Yeah, so a couple of attempts. Vivas. Vivas into the lane and into the net. 1 minute of the 3rd. Not wave the white flag. One way to go yet. How clear was the paint? This is Andreassi. Complete defensive breakdown from Nicaragua. Ruiz couldn't tame the ball. Andreassi. Huron. Want a little bit of breathing room. Back iron on the shot. Turned off end of the 3rd quarter. 3, the deficit for Nicaragua. One shot to try and get it to 20 to no avail. Offensive ball flicked up and in. Too late for Vivas.
Finaliza el tercer cuarto.
Tough period for Nicaragua. Dominated in the second, beaten in the third. The margin has grown by 5 points from the half up to 23 with just 10 to play. More 2-point field goals at a higher clip. Mexico unloading their clip from the perimeter for 12 made threes at 41%. Stark contrast, Nicaragua just 5 made threes at 23%. So 4 fewer turnovers in the game. Mexico ultimately taking 6 more field goal attempts. And make it 7 more field goal attempts over the course of the first 30 minutes. Getting going on the outside after going 0 of 6 in the first half, got his first 3. Vivas score as well. In terms of updating the box score here. Stats late to updates. The final 10 minutes underway. Home team led by the 15 points of Jared Ruiz, 12 from Edin Ewing. So more than 6 for Nicaragua. Rodriguez. Gutierrez off. From Heron. More circulation in transition. Andriassi. Friend of Gutierrez being chased by Gar. Rodriguez from the outside. How about one more? 13 made threes for Mexico with still 9 minutes to play.
México.
13 threes at 42% accuracy. They've had 4 from Avila, who's 4 of 5, 4 from Cruz, who's 4 of 9, 3 now from Heron, who's 3 of 8. 1 each from Stoll and Rodriguez. With a double-double now, 16 points, 10 rebounds. Gage. In the way of Hodgson, an upgrade to a 3 with Ruiz. With his offensive output, Ruiz up to 18 points. Mexico, barring a Nicaraguan miracle, are going to go to 2-1 the first 3 games. Put a 2-win gap between themselves and Nicaragua. Full bottom at 0-3. 8 handles from Ruiz. The shot to match. Directing traffic. Whistle off ball. Mexico would get within touching distance of qualification for the second stage with this win. Certainly wouldn't be there yet, but there'd be 3 wins ahead with only 3 games to go. This is Andriassi knocking down their 14th three of the game to 44% on the outside. Ruiz capable on his own of running a defense ragged. Took 2 out of the equation, got fouled by a third. Baseline and flipping it in and pointing in appreciation. The pass was Gutierrez. Mexico by 26 with 7 minutes and change to play. Jared Ruiz, spare a thought for him, has 20 points, but Nicaragua only have 52. Going through Ruiz right now. Good shot, Ewi. Nicaragua haven't been able to do what they did here at the America Cup. Big debut on the continental stage. Major event last summer. They did go 0-3, but Mexico drill another 3, their 15th. Were competitive in 2 of those 3 defeats. Ruiz right back at it, determined to get his numbers, to keep his team's scoreboard ticking over. Before played at a major continental or world level event. Nicaragua hosted the 20th edition of the America Cup here last summer. They lost by only 4 points to Dominican Republic and by only 3 against Colombia. Defeat by 24 to Argentina. Argentina, a team that went on to win silver. Story. These World Cup qualifiers, big defeats. Back to the USA in the first window and now down big at home to Mexico on game day 3. As for Mexico, looking like a 5th straight road win in World Cup qualifiers. for a nation that won just 2 of their first 9 on the road in the history of this tournament. Nicaragua's second foul of the 4th quarter. Mexico have already committed 4. 27-point lead and still a chance here to add to it. Mexico, such an advantage despite the fact Bonilla has not shot it particularly well as he gets inside and misses it again. He's 4 of 11 from the field now. Had big games from Paco Cruz, Gabriel Giron and Joseph Avila. Gabriel Giron, the pick of the bunch, 16 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists for him, 0 turnovers. Paco Cruz, 16 points, slightly less efficiently, 7 assists, and only 1 turnover. Avila, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal in just 17 minutes. Actually has 20 efficiency. So accurate, 4 of 5 from downtown. He's said everything was running through him. 4th quarter, scoring all of Nicaragua's points. He's basically taking all of their shots. It's a tough one. Goes down as Mexico increase their advantage back to 27. He said hadn't been shooting it well. It's one of his toughest shots to fall. Fade away from Vivas. Ranger offers well despite being free. How about a 3rd chance scoring opportunity? How about just give it to Ruiz and he will get the bounce of the rim. Jared Ruiz to 26 points. Nicaragua have the advantage in 2nd chance points, but they're down 25 overall. Ruiz 26 of their 58. Scoring not far off half of his nation's points. 4 assists, 4 rebounds as well. 23 efficiency level. Gabriel Giron is the best in the game. Batista has come in here for the first time. Another 3 though to welcome him to the floor. Moises Andreassi. It's only getting better on the outside for Mexico. 16 made 3s at 47%. 28 the lead. Made 3s. Mexico are a couple of made 3s away from getting into the top 5 all-time in America's World Cup qualifying. Actually themselves have the all-time record, 22 made 3s. A game against Colombia back in 2023. Touch pass to the corner. There's an opportunity for Andriassi to add one more. Will keep on taking them. That one contested but good. Andriassi hits their 17th three. And there is still more than 3.5 minutes to play. Five of them coming in this period. They started hot on the outside. They will finish hot on the outside.
Nicaragua.
Lead having briefly then touched 30. Shot on the move from Amigo, who wanted a foul his first appearance. He's just come in, so do Camacho. He's just getting on the floor for the first time over the last minute or so. Mexico with that freedom, backed in by Kevin Vivas. Did he call it? 5 to get. Nicaragua now just looking to make this look more respectable and give their faithful fans something to cheer. It's going to be another three, right on time and right on the money. Karim Rodriguez hits Mexico's 18th three, which puts them level for 5th place all time in America's World Cup qualifying. With 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. They seem to be looking for the three every time, so plenty of opportunities to continue their climb. Another would put them level for 4th place all time. It's been tough for fans here in Nicaragua who arrived hoping, knowing their team were underdogs, hoping that they could be competitive and maybe even get their first win. Mexico have shown how big the gap is. Their 10th turnover, which is one fewer than their hosts. The possession count categories pretty much even in terms of turnovers and offensive rebounds. It's the outside shooting in Mexico that has blown Nicaragua to bits. Handoff, Camacho, step back, three-point shot. Victor Alvarez now, who only got a few seconds on court in the first window and has just recently come into this one. Now they get it back and will attack in transition. But he just made their 19th three of the game, level for 4th all time in America's World Cup qualifying. Only one other nation has ever hit more. 19 now for Mexico. They have the all-time record of 22, and in between that, Brazil knocked down 20 and 21 on a couple of occasions in 2022. One more, get to the century, and get to the top 3 positions all time. Nicaragua still showing they've got some outside ammunition. Just 19 threes, but 19 threes at 49% accuracy. And here's Camacho. Couldn't make it 20. Stop and the pop and the drop, but nothing but nylon for Nicaragua. Get to 72 and close the gap to 25. Certainly looking better on the offensive end for them now, having had a slump for a long time. 25 points in this quarter. Both teams producing late fireworks. Mexico just about home and hosed. Just about at the century, within touching distance of it now. Shot clock turned off at the end of the game. Mexico will have to settle for 99. Very happy with their performance at both ends. They're going 2-1 for this World Cup qualifying campaign. 19 made threes at 48% accuracy for Omar Quintero's team. They win it 72-99 here in Nicaragua. Finished up making 3 more threes than they did twos. Taken 8 more attempts on the outside than on the interior. They're 50-48-91 shooting split as a team. 32 assists, double the tally of Nicaragua. 32 assists with only 10 turnovers. Better than a 3-to-1 ratio. And shared it all around. 99 points, but no individual on more than 16. Some players with efficiency ratings in the 20s or high teens. In the end, 6 scorers in double figures, led by 16 each from Paco Cruz and Gabriel Giron. Giron, who had a double-double. 16 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers. For a game-high 24 efficiency. Cruz, who had 16 points along with 7 assists, a steal and just 1 turnover. Losing side, Jared Ruiz, game high 26 points, 8 of 15 shooting from the field and 6 of 7 from the line. 4 assists as well, not much more he could have done. 26 points. They had 12 from Ewing, nobody else in double figures. It's in stark contrast to Mexico with those 6 double-digit scorers between 10 and 16 points. 16 each for Cruz and Giron, 13 for Bodilla, 12 for Avila, 11 for Andriassi, 10 for Alvarez. Victor Alvarez, seconds on court in the first window, played 7 minutes late in this game and scored 10 perfect points. That's the story from the start. It remained the prevailing narrative for the vast majority. Outside shots, not by Nicaragua so much, but by Mexico. Despite the fact Ruiz did his thing for the host on the outside, made 4 of their 9 threes at 32%. But Mexico, 19 threes at 48%. JJ Avila, 4 of 5. Was the leader in that regard. Paco Cruz hit 4 of 9. Moses Andriassi, 3 of 5. Gabriel Giron, 3 of 8. Rodriguez, 2 of 4. Late on, Victor Alvarez making both of his in that limited playing time, as well as his only 2 and his only pair of free throws for 10 perfect points in 7 minutes and 21 seconds. For Mexico, this is somewhat of a revenge game, beating Nicaragua, who as hosts of last year's America Cup, stopped Mexico qualifying for the Continental Showpiece event for just the second time this millennium. For now, Mexico to the top, with the winner of the USA Dominican Republic later on will replace them at the summit. But Mexico 2-1 have breathing room over Nicaragua en route to the second round. Pleasure having your company for this one. Stay with us for more World Cup qualifying action on the road to Qatar 2027.